exes. I got 2 of them. So it's going to be a 2-part story time about my bummy exes. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. And make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe if it's your first time stopping by to say hi. And if you've had a bunny ex... if you've had a bummy ex, make sure you go ahead and tell your story in the comments below and let me know how you handle that situation, because I'm socially awkward, and the way that I tell you guys how I ended relationships when I was younger was just like disgusting. It was absolutely, it was very cringeworthy, and it was very disgusting. So just know. Go ahead and hop into this story time. So we're gonna go ahead and call my very first ex, which was my very first boyfriend. We're gonna go ahead and call him Marcus. So this is how I met Marcus. Like, it was a bummy situation to begin with, but this is how I met Marcus. So me and my friend, we're gonna call her Marianne. So me and Marianne, we used to hang out all the time, and I would literally walk 10 blocks to her house every single day. This was my ace. This was my best friend. Anytime you seen her, you see me, Marianne. Okay, so Marianne lived right down the street from this guy, right? And mind you, this guy lived in a 4-bedroom house, and it was 20 people. It was 20 people. It was like 2 adults that lived there, and both of his like aunties had masses of children. There was so many people that lived in that house. Like, don't even get me started. So it was all these people that lived in this house. So me and her, you know, we're casually just walking down the street, doing us, you know, walking down the street, heading to the bus stop, because that's what we did. And this man, he like runs across the street. He's like, hey, let me talk to you. Like, out of breath. And he was like, let me talk to you. And I was just like, you know how we do.
What's it?
You know how we do. And he was just like, oh, you know, like, let me get your number. Like, I've never seen you around here. And I remember, like, when we started, like, dating, because it took a minute for us to start dating, because I was avoiding that man, but we're about to get into that. But when he first met me, he was just like, oh, like, I always thought you were like a little goody two-shoes. Like, you look like, you know, like you don't belong in the hood. This is not the first time men have told me that in LA. They act like I'm not from South Central. Like, I don't get crunk talking about some, you look like you don't belong here. Well, then get some money and get us out of here. But, you know, we was children, so, like, what money? Where are we going? Who's paying? Tells me, no, let me get your number. I was like, okay, like, do you got a phone? And he was like, no, let me go get a pen. And this man runs back across the street to his house to go get a pen. He's like banging on the door. He's looking back at me, banging on the door. At that moment, I should have left. But Marianne was talking to his cousin that came down and was talking to her. And let me just tell you guys a little bit of something, okay? First of all, his cousin goes talking to Marianne. And Marianne immediately was like, you have kids? This man says he has a 4-week-old daughter. And Marianne's not as nice as I am. Or Marianne's not as nice as I used to be. Cause me and her got to the bus, we was just like, he didn't even give the baby a chance. The baby's been here for 4 weeks. And he said, no, not I, said the cat. Like, how you gonna try to find a girlfriend? Your baby's 4 weeks old. Marcus comes running back across the street. He gets my number. And he's like, I'm gonna call you. And I was like, So we walk to the bus stop. You know, we kiki-king about the 4-week-old. Cause I'm just like, you didn't even give the baby a chance. You don't even know the baby. The baby don't even know you. It's been here 4 weeks. Like, stop it, right? So weeks go on. This man's calling me. I don't answer. Because back then, it was like barely any texting. Because I didn't have a sidekick. So there was not a lot of texting going on. So if you wanted to holler at me, you must have dialed my number and called me. Because there was no texting going on, right? So he's calling me. I'm not answering. For what? For why? For what? No, I'm not answering. Bumping to him while I'm on my way to Marianne's house. Because I'm telling you, Marianne stayed right down the street from this man. Okay? And he had a house full of people. So I'm walking down the street minding my business. And I hear somebody shout his name. They're all like, Marcus! There she is! I'm in shock. So it's like, who's there's who? So I'm looking around like, who are they talking about? They cannot be talking about me. Why are you screaming for him? Why? What is going on? So here you go running outside. He's like, what's up? Like, you ain't been answering my calls. I was like, yeah, I just been hella busy, whatever. Because at the time I was going to LACC, so I was like, I've been hella busy with like school and stuff. He's like, oh, that's why. He was like, well, yeah, I'm just trying to chill with you. I'm trying to get to know you, like, you know, like, I'm just trying to chill. And I was like, can you tell me why there was like 4 children in the window, like this in the window? And I was just like, what's going on? And he's like, oh yeah, those are my cousins. Like, they all stay with us. I said, all of them? I was like, oh, it's just those four. And he was like, no, it's like a lot of them. And I was just like, oh, okay. So I'm about to go see my friend. He's like, yeah, holla at me when you come back this way. And I was like, of course. Of course. Baby, now let me explain the street to you, okay? This is the street that Marianne stayed on, okay? So he stayed on this end of the street. Marianne stayed on this end of the street. When I was done at Marianne's house, I went from her. I went around the block, around the corner, and went home, baby. You're not gonna see me. I didn't want anything to do with the situation because something in my gut was like, no, it's just not right. It just didn't sit right in my spirits. It didn't sit right. And for reasons we'll get later and get into, but it did not sit right in the spirit. So I was just like, no, this can't be. Like, no, we're not gonna do this. It's not something we're gonna do. No, that's out. But one day I got bored, and when he called me, I answered. Boredom. With these story times, you guys don't understand how boredom gets me in trouble, okay? Talk to him. And you know what? He's not a bad guy. You know, he's like, yeah, I used to gangbang. I don't gangbang anymore. I had a baby, but then she lost it. Like, he's telling me all of this information. He's spilling all of his tea to me right then and there. And I was just like, okay, I can respect that. I can respect that. And he's like, yo, when you going back to your friend's house? And I was like, I'm going tomorrow. And he was like, okay, can you stop by and say what's up? And I was just like, okay. What's up doesn't mean nothing, right? It doesn't mean you're dating. You know, I was just like, I can stop by and say what's up. And like, I say what's up to strangers, right? So, walking down the street, heading to Marianne's house, I stopped by their house, and I was just like, hey, how are you? And his auntie answers, like, his auntie's by the door, and she's like, oh, are you Marcus' girlfriend? And I was like, no, I'm just stopping by to say hey. She's like, how old are you? And at the time I was 19. I was like, I'm 19. You have an ID? Like, is this a club? Is this popping bottles in here? Because I saw little children looking through the window the other day. Is this a club? So I was just like, no, I don't have an ID. Like, you know what? I'll do this some other time. So I just left. So then he calls me. I answer while I'm at Marianne's house. And I was like, yo, they trying to ID me at your house. Like, that's weird. And he was like, oh, yeah, because they don't think you're your age. Here's the thing about me. I feel like I've always looked mature for my age. Not like hella old. Like, I wasn't 19 looking like I was 40 or something like that. But I always felt like maybe I was 19 looking like I was like 21. You know what I mean? Like, I always felt like I looked a little mature for my age. So I was already developed before everybody else was. So I always felt like I looked a little mature for my age. But the fact that she really was trying to say that I was like 16 or something was concerning to me. Because I was just like, baby, where? When I was 16, I didn't even look 16. 16 where? Sis? Older than he was. So technically, I was a Kruger. So 16 where, right? So I'm explaining this to him. He's like, oh, yeah, don't worry. They you know, they're just overprotective. So they try to ID. They try to card me because they're overprotective. Like, stupid, right? So time goes on. I think it took like 4 months of him chasing me to where I actually started giving him time. So when I'm giving him time, you know, I'm talking to him, we're hanging out. He's all like, hey, you know what? Let me take you out to eat. This is what he said. He said, let me take you out to eat because I wouldn't have wait if I knew I had to pay. He said, let me take you out to eat. We go to my favorite place in the world, Towns Burger. Boom. I'm going to put a picture right here because if you're in South... What is this? Because if you're in South Central and you've never been to this place, are you really from South Central? Like, do you really live in South Central if you haven't went to Towns Burger? Okay, so he was like, let me take you out to Towns Burger. I was like, good. Yes. Okay, we're at Towns Burger. Okay, my favorite place in the world. I'm eating my Thousand Island dressing, dipping my fries in the Thousand Island, eating my burger, doing my thing. We're chopping it up. And I'm actually like, you know what? He's not so bad. He's not so bad. He's actually not so bad. He's actually funny. He has some goals and aspirations. Like, you know, like he's actually kind of smart. Like, wait. He's not so bad. So I'm sitting there, I'm eating. I'm just like, getting a little bit intrigued. Stop it, Nisha. But I did not, okay? Getting a little bit intrigued, okay? So we're sitting there, we're talking. And he's all like, oh, I'll pay you back for the food. Because mind you, I had to pay for the food. So he was just like, I'm going to pay you back for the food when I get my money. And I was like, oh, you have a job? And he was just like, no. I'm on GR. If you don't know what GR is general relief. I don't know if this is all over the world, but yeah, it's so mind you, I had let it go. I was just like, that's fine, okay, you know, whatever. So time goes on, we start talking, eventually we start dating, okay? And it wasn't even like a, hey, do you want to be my girlfriend type of thing. It was just like we was hanging out so much that it was just like silent but mutual that we were dating. Because I was like, I started lying about going to Marianne's house, and I started being at his house all the time. So I was around all these people, okay? And his aunties had so many children. There were so many of them, and I was just like, they all look alike. There was so many of them, and then one of his aunties was actually pregnant at the time. It was so many people in this house. We never had privacy, which was cool. Nothing happened, so we never had privacy. And first of all, his cousins were like mad creepy, like super creepy. I mean, one of his cousins actually liked me, and it was really like creepy and uncomfortable to say the least. But we're about 6 months in, and out of the 6 months, we've been dating for 3 months, because for 3 months I was playing games. I didn't want you. I didn't want you for 3 months until I actually got to know you, and I was like, you know what? Let me stop being mean. He's actually not that bad of a person. I understand. Like, I'm in the hood too, so why am I being bougie like this? Like, I'm in the hood, you're in the hood, you understand my struggle, I understand your struggle. Let me not be a jerk, right? So we started dating. You know, like I said, I met the whole family. I met uncles, I met aunties, I met everybody. Like, this was like a legit thing, and the relationship was not that bad. Like, he wasn't like controlling. Like, he was actually really cool. The only thing was, he never had no money. Never. But he always had money for weed. Like, he was always smoking weed, but he never had no money for, like, to take me. I'm paying for bus rides. The dash was only 25 cents, but I'm paying for bus rides. I'm paying for dashes. I'm paying for food. Whenever he hits me up, he's like, yeah, let's hang out. We're hanging out. He's like, yo, can we go hit the burger stand? I'm paying for the food, okay? And it was just like an ongoing thing. And then I started like really liking him, so I was just like, it's fine, like, I'm gonna pay for it. Like, I'm gonna pay for your food. Like, why am I like this? I don't get it, right? So time goes on, and there was one situation that really like really just sealed it for me, because I was kind of over him at this point. Was the confrontation I got in with his cousin, his female cousin, right? So pretty much, we went to this burger stand called Monster Burger. If I could find a picture of Monster Burger, I'm gonna put it here. If you're from the hood, you already know, okay? But Monster Burger, we're at Monster Burger, and you know, we're ordering, and he's like, you got this, and I'm like, fine, whatever. And at that point, like, I was already drained from the situation. Like, we wasn't really arguing, but I was just like not feeling anymore. Have you been with somebody and you're just like, I'm over this? Like, it's always the same stuff, ain't nothing new, like nothing's changing. You're telling me you're gonna do better, you're telling me you're gonna get better, you're telling me you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, you're not doing anything. It just drained me, you know, because I'm trying to be productive in my life. You're low-key holding me back because you don't want to do nothing with your life. Do you get what I'm saying? It was one of those things. So I was kind of, you know, pulling back from the situation. So I'm just like, I'm paying for the food. You know, I pay with a 20. We go back to the house. One of his female cousins, she's screaming. She's hollering. Like, we could hear it through the movie. She's just like, I don't understand who stole my money. Who stole my $20? Who stole my $20? Like, she's screaming, who stole my $20? She comes storming through the room door where we're at. And she's like, I don't care if your little girlfriend's in here. Where is my $20? And he was like, what are you talking about? Ain't nobody got your money. Like, get up out of here. And she was like, how'd you get money to get food? Because you don't have no money. You never had no money. So where'd you get the money to get the food? And he was like, what are you talking about? He's like, how much did you pay for that food? And I was just like, I know you're not talking to me. And she's like, I said what I said. How did you pay for that food? And he was like, yo, she had a 20. Just get up out of here. She's like, I'm missing $20. I'm missing $20. You stole my $20. And I was just like, it's a house full of people. There's people at every corner. And you trying to tell me that I stole $20 from you when it's a house full of people? Somebody would have seen me going up in your room to steal your $20. Like, stop playing. I was like, ain't nobody got your money. Like, she's telling her mom, she's like, yo, I think Marcus' girlfriend stole my $20. She had $20. They went and got food with my $20 and all this stuff. And like, the auntie comes in and she's just like, oh yeah, you know what, I think I think you need to take your girlfriend home because like she can't be stealing stuff. I was like, stealing what? Ain't nobody gotta steal nothing out of this house. Y'all barely got furniture. So then I left. I left out. Like, they barely have furniture. Like, and you really think I've never stole money from anybody. Like, that's not even my thing. I don't believe in stealing because I believe in a thing called karma. So I'm not into stealing from nobody. And you get, like, why would I steal $20? White? The white? White? We're just gonna disregard the fact that it's missing and just blame me, right? Like, that's what we're doing. Okay, cool. So we're walking. He's like, yo, it's stupid. Like, don't even. At that point, I'm tuning him out because I'm just like, I'm over this whole relationship. Like, this is stupid. I'm not about to argue with your cousins. I'm not about to argue with you. I'm not about to argue with your auntie. Like, this is all dumb. I'm over it. Like, I need to focus on school. Like, this is stupid. So I'm walking him home. He looks at me. He's like, yo, you got money for me to get on a bus to go back home? I gave him the money to go back home. And I'm sitting at home and I'm like, ugh, I don't want to do this anymore. So he's calling me. And like I said, okay, I'm about to tell you guys something socially awkward at the time, okay? I didn't know how to break up with nobody. Like, how? Like, I've never seen, like, back then there was no tutorials on how to break up. Like, I didn't know how to break up with nobody. I don't even know if I ever seen a breakup in a movie. Like, I didn't know how to break up with nobody. So honestly, this is what I did. And you could judge me. It might be funny, it might be dumb, but this is literally what I did. He called one day and I told him I was on my way to Alabama to go be with family. He's like, when you coming back? I was like, I don't know. So I literally pretended to be in Alabama. And, you know, I didn't tell Marianne that I was pretending to be in Alabama at the time. So she would still hit me up and be like, girl, let's go, let's chill. And this is my friend. I want to chill with my friend. So she's like, let's come over, like, let's chill, let's make some food, let's watch TV, let's play, you know, the Michael Jackson on the Wii, let's do this, I'm like, yes. So what did I do? What did I tell you guys? He lived on one end of the block, she lived on the other. So what I used to do was go all the way around the block to go to her house, just so I wouldn't pass him. I did this for like a month and a half, almost 2 months. And at that point, I was like, it's over. You know, I'm not even answering his calls no more. I'm not pretending to be in Alabama no more. It's over. I would go from her house, go around the block, and go immediately home. Didn't stop nowhere, didn't look nowhere, went immediately home. Because when I tell you it was a house full of people, it was a house full of people. Somebody was bound to see me somewhere. And they did. So one day I left her house and I went to the liquor store in the corner, and Pete's Liquor. Okay? I go in there, and I come out. And he's right there. It's like, babe, when did you get back in town? You want to come over? I was like, no, I don't want to come over. That's okay. I actually need to head home. So his cousin's like, yo, why you acting like, why you treating my cousin like that? Like you should just come over. And I was like, I'm good. I'm going to go home. Like, he was like, let me walk you home. Like, they was like, we can walk you home. And I was like, okay, that's fine. They walk me home. We're walking. We're barely talking. All they're doing is some game. What's going on while they're walking me home? Like, they're literally on some game banging stuff. One of his cousins like running. One's on the bike. Like, it was just a mess. And I was like low-key inside embarrassed. I was just like, this is not how I act. Like, what is this? What is this circus? So they get to the corner and he's like, oh, we can walk you all the way home. I said, no, right here is fine. So he's all like, all right, I'm gonna call you. And I was like, all right, cool. So then I walk home. He's calling me. I don't answer. I do not answer. Okay? When I finally do answer a few weeks later, he's all like, yeah, I'm in Long Beach. Come see me. In my mind, I'm still like, we're broken up, but yet I still come see you. I went to Long Beach twice to go see this person, okay? I go see him, and what am I doing? I'm giving him money for trains. I'm giving him money for food. Once again, and at that point, I was just like, I'm over it. I'm legit over it. Got on it, went home. I literally didn't answer not one phone call, ever. Ever. Deleted him on all social media. Didn't answer no phone calls. Nothing. Ever. And like years went by, and he ended up messaging me, and he was just like, oh yeah, I need a place to stay, and I just got out of jail, and I blocked them. Blocked. I don't even know how he got unblocked. I think he had another account. blocked, baby. Goodbye. Okay. And like I said, I'm socially awkward. Like, there was a lot of relationships that I ended, and I really never ended them. So, like, there was people that years went by, they was still like, oh, hey, love, how are you? I missed you. What? We're broken up. What? If I don't talk to you for years, sure thing to do. But if I don't talk to you for years, don't that mean that we're broken up? Let me know in the comments. But if you like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if this is your first time stopping by to say hi, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you've been here before, make sure you like, comment, and share. Go ahead and get my numbers up there, because this is our year, baby. And I'll see you guys later in the next story. I told you guys it's going to be another part 2 to the Bummy X, because there was 2 of them. And if you like this one, you're gonna love the next one. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, beauties.